KSMO, Salem.
AP News. I'm Ed Donahue. Prosecutors in New York in former President Donald Trump's hush money trial are asking Judge Juan Merchan to fine Trump $3,000 over social media posts about key witnesses in the case. On his Truth Social site, Trump called his former lawyer and former fixer Michael Cohen and adult film actor Stormy Daniels two sleazebags who have, with their lies and misrepresentations, cost our country dearly. The AP's Julie Walker is in New York.
Inside the courtroom, Trump has been watching along during pretrial matters at the defense table on his own computer screen as the DA plays evidence that his lawyers argue should be out of the trial. Among those things, his E. Jean Carroll deposition snippet where he defended his infamous Access Hollywood statement about grabbing women.
Secretary of State Antony Blinken says after the failed Iranian drone strikes in Israel, the U.S. is working to avoid an escalation.
We have been coordinating a diplomatic response to seek to prevent escalation. Strength and wisdom need to be the different sides of the same coin.
An Israeli court ordered the eviction of a Palestinian family in a contested neighborhood in East Jerusalem. A California women's prison where inmates have faced sexual abuse is being shut down. Here's the AP's Sagar Magani.
FCI Dublin is one of 6 women-only federal prisons. It's become known as the Rape Club after the AP exposed rampant sexual abuse of inmates by the facility's staff. The Federal Bureau of Prisons tried to reform the facility and change its culture amid pressure from Congress. But the agency's director tells the AP that has not worked, and the facility will be shut down. Inmates will be transferred elsewhere. Sagar Magani at the White House.
A source tells the AP the FBI has started a criminal investigation into the deadly collapse of Baltimore's Key Bridge. This is AP News. If you could use a nap, you are not alone.
A new Gallup poll finds that the majority of Americans, 57%, would feel better if they could have more sleep, while only 42% say they're getting as much sleep as they need. In contrast, in 2013, when Americans were last asked, it was just about the reverse. 56% saying they got the needed sleep, and 43% saying they didn't. The poll also asked respondents to report how many hours of sleep they usually get per night. Only 26% said they got 8 hours or more, which is around the amount sleep experts say is recommended for health and mental well-being. The majority reported getting only 6 to 7 hours, while 1/5 got 5 hours or less, a jump from the 14% who reported getting the least amount of sleep in 2013. I'm Charles Dilatesma.
Cisse Lema from Ethiopia is the men's winner. Helen Obiri from Kenya is the women's winner at the Boston Marathon. I'm Ed Donahue, AP News.
Hi, my name is Michelle Bland. I'm the new family nurse practitioner at SMDH Family Medicine. I will be providing family medical services for all ages. I'm now accepting new patients, so please call 729-8000 to make an appointment. We accept Medicare, Medicaid, and all private and other insurances. Salem Memorial District Hospital, every patient, every encounter, every time.
Hi, Carrie Patton here from Town & Country Bank. We've got all the perks of a national bank, like online banking, quick loan approval, and you can even deposit your check from your phone. That's not why our customers love us, though. They love us because we still offer hometown customer service. Stop by one of our area locations and let our friendly team remind you how special hometown banking can be. Smart, friendly solutions. Town & Country Bank. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Good afternoon. During the noon hour, we have a temperature reading of 78 degrees. The wind out of the south at around 4 miles per hour. Our forecast for this afternoon, partly cloudy. High temperature around 85 degrees. The wind out of the south at 5 to 10. Tonight, a 20% chance of some isolated showers and thunderstorms after midnight, a low of 63. The wind will pick up tonight out of the south at 11 to 15 and gust as high as 26 miles per hour. Tomorrow, we have a 60% chance of scattered showers and thunderstorms becoming more likely during the afternoon. High temperature on Tuesday of 76 degrees and the wind out of the south at 16 to 23. Gusting close to 40 miles per hour. New rainfall amounts of less than 1/10 of an inch is expected. However, if we do get the thunderstorms that develop, we could see more in the rain gauge. For tomorrow night, partly cloudy, a low of 60, a south wind at 20 to 23, still gusting to 36. And then for Wednesday, another windy day. It'll be sunny, though. High temperature of 58, a southwest wind at 16 to 18, gusting close to 30. Then for Wednesday night, we'll have a low of 49 degrees under a clear sky. And on Thursday, a 40% chance of showers during the afternoon, high temperature of 78 degrees. Thursday night, showers likely. Some thunderstorms are also possible. A low of 50 degrees, and we'll start to cool down toward the end of the week. A chance of showers on Friday, high temperature of 67 degrees. Friday night, chance of showers and thunderstorms, a low of 43, and a chance of scattered light showers on Saturday. Saturday's high only in the upper 50s. Saturday night, mostly cloudy, a low of 38 degrees. And on Sunday, we'll get the sun back, mostly sunny, with a high temperature near 60. Right now, it is 78 degrees. It's also time for some commentary from the Brownfield Network, and we'll get a check of the midday livestock report.
It's time to get in the game. Hello, everyone. I'm Cindy Young with Brownfield, and this is my 2 cents. One of the reasons many people fail to reach out to communicate with or educate the non-farm community is fear of confrontation or conflict. I say bring it on. Until there is dialogue and tough questions are asked and answered, how can there be a resolution to any disagreement or understanding of any situation? We need to take the time to lean in to the conversation. The old saying goes, you don't understand my situation until you have walked a mile in my shoes. Until you bring someone who questions your actions to the place where those actions are taken, how do they know? Getting from point A, your field, to point B, their table, should be easy enough to describe. Unfortunately, there are those who will throw out terms like factory farm and antibiotic use and genetically modified without accurate definition and understanding. Think for a minute how children learn. We can show them and explain to them, and sometimes still there are pieces of the puzzle we need to fill in for them. I have friends whose young children spend a lot of time with their mom and dad working with cattle. They artificially inseminate their cows, and my friends have explained this concept to their children, and the children have witnessed the process. The 11-year-old has a better understanding than her little brother. Apparently, Mom caught the 7-year-old just in time. He had a drinking straw in one hand and the family cat, a tom, in the other. After his dad finished relating the story to me with a big toothless grin, the second grader explained, "We need some kittens." With so many misconceptions and accusations flying around about our agriculture, we must be certain that we are not omitting a critical part of the story we're telling. I'm Cindy Young with Brownfield. That's my 2 cents.
This is your land, the land of opportunity. And nothing should stand in the way of your soybean fields from reaching their fullest potential. Liberty Herbicide from BASF provides the freedom to use across the majority of today's trade platforms, including Enlist E3 and XtendFlex. Plus, excellent weed control and greater application flexibility for unmatched convenience. Experience the freedom of Liberty Herbicide from BASF. Visit yourliberty-herbicide.com. Always read and follow label directions.
Want to get out of just about anything and look like an earth-saving hero? Just use the environment excuse. High school reunion? Sorry, can't. Planetary obligations. Unfortunate bridesmaid's dress? Unfortunately, you promised the climate you'd buy more vintage. Chauffeuring teens? The earth really needs them to hoof it. The environment is always the best excuse. Find your out and opt in to cutting carbon. Just visit theenvironmentexcuse.org. Brought to you by WildAid.
The Cardinals magazine, the care and quality of its presentation, the thick paper, the glossy photographs, and photographs from Stan Musial to Lou Brock to Jim Edmonds to the present-day players, the Cardinal tradition, the history. It will put you right there in Busch Stadium behind home plate like no other magazine. And it's easy to start a subscription. Just call 314-345-9000 or visit cardinals.com/magazine.
A
Slow start to the week for cash cattle and hog business. Hello, I'm Megan Grebner with your Brownfield Livestock Market Report. Direct cash cattle trade activity is quiet, typical for a Monday as buyers and sellers are readying for the week ahead. Bids and asking prices haven't surfaced, and significant trade volume will likely be delayed until the latter half of the week. Last week, live deals in the South ranged from $181 to $185, mostly $182, $2 lower than the prior week's weighted averages. Dress business in the North had a full range of $293 to $301, mostly $293, which is $2 to $4 lower than the previous week's weighted average basis in Nebraska. Boxed beef is higher at midday on solid demand for light-off. Range choice up 54 cents at $301.11. Select is 25 cents higher at $295.79. In Iowa last week, feeder steers under 750 pounds were $8 to $10 lower, and steers over 750 pounds were $2 to $6 lower. Feeder heifers were $10 to $12 lower. The USDA says demand was moderate to good for all weights of steers and heifers. The best demand was on light cattle. Medium and large one feeder steers, 552 to 598 pounds, brought $270 to $330. Feeder steers, 702 to 744 pounds, brought $230 to $286. Medium and large one feeder heifers, 652 to 697 pounds, brought $228 to $256.50, and feeder heifers 700 to 748 pounds, brought $210 to $250.50. Cash hog prices were not reported at midday due to confidentiality. There were very few negotiated purchases. Processors just aren't in any hurry to get business going this week, which has been the trend recently. Demand remains a bright spot for the U.S. pork industry, both on the global market and domestically, as summer grilling season is right around the corner. The industry continues to monitor the availability of market-ready hogs and hog weights, which were up again last week. Butcher hog prices at the Midwest cash markets are $2 lower at midday at $52. And pork values were sharply higher at midday, up $3.10 at $104.30. Bellies jumped more than $19 to start the day. Ribs were also sharply higher. Hams were firm. Picnics, loins, and butts were lower to sharply lower. I'm Megan Grebner for Brownfield.
This is your land, the land of opportunity. And nothing should stand in the way of your soybean fields from reaching their fullest potential. Liberty Herbicide from BASF provides the freedom to use across the majority of today's trade platforms, including Enlist E3 and XtendFlex. Plus, excellent weed control and greater application flexibility for unmatched convenience. Experience the freedom of Liberty Herbicide from BASF. Visit yourliberty-herbicide.com. Always read and follow label directions.
Want to get out of just about anything and look like an earth-saving hero? Just use the environment excuse. High school reunion? Sorry, can't. Planetary obligations. Unfortunate bridesmaid's dress? Unfortunately, you promised the climate you'd buy more vintage. Chauffeuring teens? The earth really needs them to hoof it. The environment is always the best excuse. Find your out and opt in to cutting carbon. Just visit theenvironmentexcuse.org. Brought to you by WildAid.
And that's been some commentary from the Brownfield Network and a check of the Midday Livestock Report. Let's take a look now at our updated funeral announcements being brought to you by Your World Today. Serving Salem and Dade County for over 30 years, Your World Today is 4 pages of information. Should take about 5 minutes to read, and they are available in over 40 locations here in Salem and in Bunker, and also online at our website at KSMOradio.com. Your World Today, be sure and pick up a copy every weekday or check it out online. Bertha Mae Patterson, age 73, formerly of Salem, passed away Saturday in DeSoto. Funeral services will be Friday afternoon at 1 o'clock at the Wilson Mortuary Salem Chapel. Burial will follow in the Cedar Grove Cemetery. Visitation will be on Friday as well from 11 o'clock until service time at 1. All of the arrangements are under the direction of the Wilson Mortuary of Salem or Bertha Mae Patterson, whose funeral services will be Friday afternoon at 1 o'clock at the Wilson Mortuary Salem Chapel. Ernest Dean Look, age 88, passed away March 20th. A graveside service with military honors will be conducted Friday afternoon at 1 o'clock at the Oak Ridge Cemetery in Cuba. All of the arrangements are under the direction of the James and Gar Mortuary of Rolla for Ernest Dean Look, whose graveside services with military honors will be Friday afternoon at 1 o'clock at the Oak Ridge Cemetery in Cuba. That has been a look at our updated funeral announcements. They've been brought to you as a courtesy of Your World Today. We invite you to keep it here at 1340 and 95.7. We'll come back in just a moment with a look at local news.
Out of town and want to know what's going on in Salem, how the Salem Tigers did, or who may have passed away? There's only one way to get that information quickly, and that's by going to Your World Today online. Go to KSMORadio.com and click on the Your World Today button, and you'll get the latest edition online, or check out the Your World Today archives. And if you are in town, pick one up in any of the 30-plus locations in Salem and Bunker. Your World Today, they're free!
It's now time for a look at local news brought to you by Southwest Baptist University Salem Campus. SBU Salem Campus provides quality higher education close to home for residents of Dent County and the surrounding areas. If you'd like more information on degrees and programs, stop by SBU Salem Campus today at 501 South Grand Street or call 729-7071. The City of Salem Park and Recreation Board will be meeting this evening at 5:30 at the Salem Community Center at the Armory. During a previous meeting of the board, they had approved the acquisition of a 5.6-acre parcel of property known as the Old Fairgrounds on Franklin Street. In the current budget year, the Parks and Recreation Department is budgeted to make the final $25,000 payment to complete a loan from the Capital Improvement Fund to the Parks and Recreation Fund for the purchase of the property. Members of the Board of Aldermen are requesting the Parks and Recreation Board consider trading the Old Fairgrounds property for 5 acres on 10th Street, known as the Old Middle School. This would meet the previously discussed need for a park on the east side of town and could potentially provide a connection between the city park and the Bone Break Center of Nature and History. The meeting this evening at 5:30 will be open to the public. And the Salem Memorial Hospital Board of Directors will hold their regular meeting this evening at 6 o'clock in the hospital library. And at the meeting, Interim Administrator Jason Edwards will give his report before the board hears a summary of operations for the month of March, as well as statistics for the month. The board will hear about the 340B program, receive the Chief Nursing Officer report from Ashley Owens, and be updated on human resources. In old business, the board will be updated on state and match funding, plus receive a strategic planning update, and in new business, the board will review a governing body bylaw amendment and conduct the election of officers. The board may then vote to go into closed session. The Salem Memorial Hospital Board of Directors this evening at 6 o'clock in the hospital library is open to the public. If you'd like to attend the meeting electronically, you can contact the hospital administration office this afternoon at 573-729-6626, extension 4005. And coming up this Saturday at the Ozark Natural and Cultural Resource Center on Highway 19 at the exhibit called Crossroads, Change in Rural America, there will be a discussion of one book about Edgar Lee Masters' Spoon Rivers anthology at 9 o'clock. And then at 10:30, Becky Emhauser presents More Than Money, Being Rich During the Depression. The exhibit is open Monday through Saturday. There's no charge to visit. The Crossroads exhibit is part of the museum on Main Street, which is a collaboration between the Smithsonian Institution and state humanities councils nationwide. Support for the museum on Main Street has been provided by the United States Congress. In other news, between March 30th and April 5th, there were a total of 115 calls for service to the Salem Police Department. Officers with the Salem Police Department conducted 18 traffic stops for various traffic violations, with 3 of those resulting in a summons or arrest. On Sunday evening, March 31st, officers conducted a mental 96-hour detention transport to Osage Beach. Then the next day, April 1st, at around 3 o'clock in the afternoon, officers located a male subject who had active warrants for his arrest. During the investigation, the male subject attempted to conceal himself from officers, but after a short investigation, he was located. Jacob Bussey, age 26 of Salem, was arrested and incarcerated at the Dent County Jail for his warrants for failing to obey a judge's order and possession of a controlled substance. The warrant had no bond. The next afternoon at 1 o'clock, officers arrested and transported a man from the Texas County Jail for warrants out of the Salem Police Department. Please contact the police department at 729-4242 if you have any information regarding an investigation. And the Phelps County Public Housing Authority will host a public meeting to accept comments on the PHA's annual plan. That will take place tomorrow afternoon at 2 o'clock at the Merrimack Regional Planning Commission, located at number 4 Industrial Drive in St. James. The Phelps County PHA provides HUD Section 8 residential assistance to persons in Crawford, Dent, Gasconade, Marys, and Phelps counties outside of the city of Rolla, and also Washington counties. The plan is a comprehensive guide to PHA policies, programs, operations, and strategies for meeting local housing needs and goals. The annual plan is submitted to HUD every year. The plan is available for review at MRPC, Phelps County PHA, through August 16th. Written comments will be accepted through April 17th and can be submitted to MRPC. Attention to David Keeney, Housing Program Manager. Persons needing more information should contact Keeney at 573-265-2993 or through email at dkeeney@merrimackregion.org. Anyone needing special accommodations for the public hearing should contact Keeney at least 48 hours in advance of the hearing. And in 2023, 35 fatalities occurred in work zone crashes, the highest number of work zone fatalities in Missouri history. Distracted driving contributed to 588 work zone crashes and 5 of those fatalities. April is Distracted Driving Awareness Month, with National Work Zone Awareness Week occurring April 15th through the 19th. That'll be this week. MoDOT is asking motorists to work with them and work with us to make safe, responsible choices behind the wheel, and also slowing down when driving through work zones. Using a cell phone while driving is now against the law in Missouri. The Siddons-Benning hand-free law, which took effect last August, prohibits drivers from physically holding or supporting a cell phone while driving. This does include sending or receiving text and recording or watching videos. Drivers can face criminal charges for crashes that result in property damage, injury, or death. And it's not just a courtesy to slow down and move over for these work zones, it is the law. Missouri's Move Over law requires drivers to change lanes when approaching any MoDOT vehicle, law enforcement vehicle, or any other emergency vehicle with flashing lights if it's safe to do so. If drivers can't change lanes safely, they do need to slow down as they pass the emergency vehicles. Drivers should also be aware of changing traffic conditions, observe traffic warning signs, and merge before reaching lane closures. In 2023 alone, MoDOT work zone vehicles with truck-mounted attenuators were struck 63 times, an increase of 27 from the previous year. These crashes are almost always a result of drivers being distracted behind the wheel and or driving too fast for conditions. At its core, the Buckle Up Phone Down initiative is about prioritizing personal safety. 45% of those killed in work zone crashes last year were not wearing a seatbelt, and the overall unbelted fatality rate so far in 2024 is the highest recorded in recent years. Everyone carries the responsibility of personal safety, so be sure to wear your seatbelt, put the phone down, and help save lives on Missouri's roadways. To make your travel safer, you can visit MoDOT's Traveler Information Map at traveler.modot.org and find out what work zones you'll encounter before you hit the road. And finally, in news, the Dent County Sheriff's Office has released some reports. On Saturday, April 6th, deputies responded to the 600 block of County Road 2480 for a theft report. The victim, a 61-year-old Iowa man, told officers that an ATV had been taken from his property by an unknown suspect or suspects. That investigation is continuing. And then on Monday, the 8th, the deputies responded to the 4500 block of County Road 2050 for another theft report. A 77-year-old Salem man told deputies that a known suspect had taken a 2006 Ford F-150 without his permission. That investigation is continuing as well. And then on Thursday, the 11th, deputies responded to the 1100 block of West Scenic Rivers Boulevard for a wanted subject. The suspect, a 40-year-old Salem woman, was arrested on an outstanding warrant and transported to the Dent County Jail, where she was incarcerated. The next day, deputies responded to the 600 block of County Road 2075 for a domestic disturbance. A 29-year-old Salem man and a 29-year-old Rolla woman had both assaulted one another. Neither party wished to pursue charges, and the Missouri 12-hour rule was invoked. If you do have any information regarding an investigation, please contact the Sheriff's Office at 729-3241. That has been a look at local news brought to you by the SBU Salem campus at 501 South Grand Street, where they offer degrees in the Nursing RN Bridge program, criminal justice, and elementary education. For more information about the SBU Salem campus, contact admission counselor Chris Welch at 729-7071.
What are your plans for the future? Do you need a boost to generate a new plan, or can't afford to go away to college, or your work schedule won't allow you to go? Let Southwest Baptist University Salem campus be the boost. SBU is committed to flexibility, expertise, and the state-of-the-art technology. We now offer 2 new associate's degrees in teaching and Christian ministries, along with master's degrees in education and business. For more information, please contact admissions counselor Chris Welch to schedule an appointment as a prospective or returning student. You may call 573-729-7071. SBU Salem campus is your higher education with Christian principles.
There's a place for do-it-yourselfers with everything for your car or truck.
You'll find these spring deals at K&H Auto Supply. Gumot intake valve cleaner for $12.99 for the 11-ounce size. Blue Devil oil stop leak only $14.49, and Blue Devil head gasket sealer for $29.99. Come on by today at K&H Auto Supply, your Parts City Auto Parts store here in Salem.
Parts City, yeah, Parts City, Parts City.
Wofford & Wofford Plumbing can solve all of your septic problems. They have an electric sewer machine and camera to help locate and solve septic problems. Plus, they can handle all new construction, residential, and commercial plumbing, as well as repairs. Wofford & Wofford Plumbing. Call the office at 729-0014, and they can get you taken care of.
Hi, I'm Bill Pollock, host of Show Me Today. We listened to you, Missouri, and brought you a daily radio show that brings you captivating stories of people, places, and topics around our state.
What was lacking in all these years before this was someone with the desire.
Now, if you miss a segment or entire show, just download our podcast.
A lot of people don't realize that.
Subscribe to Show Me Today on Apple or wherever you find your favorite podcasts and add us to your list.
Show Me Today.
Taking a look at our local sports coverage here on KSMO, the Salem Baseball Tigers beat Waynesville 10-4 Friday to improve to 9-2 on the season. Salem will be at Mountain View this afternoon to face the Liberty Eagles at 4:30. We will not be broadcasting that game here on KSMO. And the Salem Lady Softball Tigers will be at Mountain Grove today to face the Panthers. Salem is 2-8 going into the game, and they are still looking for their first SCA conference win as they are 0-3 in conference play. And just a program reminder for tomorrow, with the chance of some bad weather, the game that was scheduled at 4:30 with East Carter has been moved up to 4 o'clock. And will be the Salem Lady Tigers tomorrow afternoon at 4 o'clock against East Carter. And the Salem Tennis Tigers will be hosting Mountain View Liberty today at 4 o'clock over at the Salem City Park. And the Cardinals started off the weekend with a win against Arizona Diamondbacks Friday 9-6. Then they lost on Saturday 4-2 and lost yesterday 5-0. Sonny Gray will start this evening as the Cardinals head to Oakland to face the Athletics. The game tonight can be heard on KSMO radio starting at 7:45 with the pregame show. Kansas City Royals lost Friday 6-1, then they beat out 11 runs against the Mets, 7 runs on Saturday for the victory, and then lost Sunday 1-2 to the Mets. They'll be facing the White Sox tonight. And the St. Louis Blues lost 5-2 to Carolina Friday, but won 4-1 Sunday against the Seattle Kraken. The Blues will face the Dallas Stars Wednesday night. The game can be heard here on KSMO, and that will get underway with the pregame show starting at 8 o'clock. That has been a look at our local sports coverage. Right now we'll get a check of sports from across the state of Missouri from the Missouri Net.
Missouri Net Sports, I'm Bill Pollock. Sunday's Cardinals game in Arizona was pretty reminiscent of what we saw last year. The Cardinals had a chance to take advantage, couldn't get big hits. They had the bases loaded with 1 out in the second against Zach Gallen and did not score. And then they had some trouble in the 5th inning. Miles Michaelis was clean up until that point. He gave up 5 runs. Andre Palante had to come in and try to clean up the mess. A tough loss for the Cardinals, who dropped the series 5-0. Ali Marmol on starting pitcher Zach Gallen and the job that he did for the Diamondbacks.
He's a good pitcher. They're trying to put it in play. Unfortunately, it did not go our way today offensively. At-bats were tough. He located well. He was at the bottom of the zone, did a nice job down there, didn't give the guys a whole lot to hit. You look at Donnie's at-bats, you look at Goldie's at-bats, there's not a ton down the middle there. So he did a really nice job against us.
Cardinals are now 7-9. They're in Oakland tonight. The Royals bats quiet in the rubber game against the Mets. A great outing, though, for Cole Reagans. He pitched 6 shutout innings, certainly kept the offense in it. Matt Quattrero.
He's got plus stuff. He's got top of the rotation stuff. He mixes it up. He throws hard, controls the running game well. So he has the total package.
Reliever Chris Stratton gave up 2 runs in the 8th. He'd walked 4. The strike zone may have been squeezed a bit on him. Vinny Pasquantino hit his 2nd home run. That came in the 9th to pull the Royals back to within a run. 2-1 again the final. The Royals 10-6. They will play at the White Sox tonight. The Blues eliminated from playoff contention Friday night, losing to Carolina. They beat Seattle 4-1 in their final home game. They wrap up the season Wednesday in Dallas. The St. Louis Battlehawks beat San Antonio 31-24 in the UFL. St. Louis in an early first-place tie with San Antonio at 2-1. St. Louis City, a 1-0 win over Houston. Kansas City lost to Miami 3-2. Sporting KC host City Saturday in MLS action. Bill Pollock, Missouri Net.
This message is from the U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs. If you're having a tough time or thinking about suicide, you're not alone. And there's hope. VA's Veterans Crisis Line is full of responders who listen and help. Many are veterans or have veteran family members and friends, so they're prepared to address your challenges. After calling, you'll be connected to the next available crisis line responder. That person may ask, are you thinking of suicide? Or what plan can we put in place to keep you safe today? If you choose, the responder will share your name and personal information with your local VA Suicide Prevention Coordinator, who'll connect you to local VA assistance and resources. Don't wait. Dial 988, then press 1.
What's the fastest way for you to get yourself up to date on the latest in news, sports, weather, and obituaries that costs you absolutely nothing? It's Your World Today. Serving Salem and Dent County now for over 20 years, Your World Today is 4 pages of information that will take you about 5 minutes to read, and they're available in over 30-plus locations in Salem and in Bunker. Your World Today. Pick one up every weekday. They're free!
We are Missouri Farm Bureau Insurance, and we're here for all of life's wins. Like when you get a new car, or new boat, or new driver, or when your son moves out, but your mom moves in, or you find out you're expecting again, or when one rental property turns into 2, then 20, or you realize they're all in Tornado Alley. Life is full of life events. Make sure you have the right policy for each of life's wins.
A life event could qualify you for a discount. Call me, Willie Strader, your Missouri Farm Bureau insurance agent, and we will make sure you have the coverage you need.
There's a place for do-it-yourselfers with everything for your car or truck.
Check out these deals at K&H Auto Supply. A Schumacher 12-volt 6-amp battery charger for $54.99. Lucas engine oil stop leak $13.99 for the 32-ounce size. And 3-piece flare nut wrench set for $21.99. Stop by K&H Auto Supply, your Parts City Auto Parts store in Salem.
Parts City. Yeah, Parts City. Parts City.
Not to brag, but I've been crushing it lately. And all credit goes to frozen drinks from McDonald's. Clean my apartment while crushing an ice-cold Oreo frappe. Love that chocolate flavor. Hint of coffee and Oreo cookie pieces. Crush work in overtime thanks to a drizzly caramel frappe. Even fix my own car while crushing a creamy mocha frappe. Start crushing it yourself with a delicious, refreshing frappe from Mickey D's. There are drinks. Then there are drinks from McDonald's. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. At participating McDonald's for a limited time, Oreo is a trademark of Mondelez International Group used under license.
We have several chances of showers over the next couple of days, and the wind is going to be strong as well. Still warm temperatures, but as we get toward the latter part of the week, we'll see temperatures start to cool down and a very cool start to the weekend. We'll tell you about the forecast coming up. Right now, a quick break, and back with news from the Missouri Net.
There's a place for do-it-yourselfers with everything for your car or truck.
You'll find these spring deals at K&H Auto Supply. Gumot intake valve cleaner for $12.99 for the 11-ounce size. Blue Devil oil stop leak only $14.49. And Blue Devil head gasket sealer for $29.99. Come on by today at K&H Auto Supply, your Parts City Auto Parts store here in Salem.
Parts City. Yeah, Parts City. Parts City.
For over 130 years, there have been moments in Cardinals baseball that will last a lifetime.
Baseball has some of the best athletes in sports.
With amazing feats, amazing moments, amazing plays, there's nothing quite like Cardinals baseball.
When you listen to the game, you just never know who that next hero may be.
We will have it all right here for you on the Cardinals Radio Network, powered by Graybar. Cardinal baseball on your Ozark sports leader, KSMO.
World Pork Expo is back in Des Moines, June 5th and 6th at the Iowa State Fairgrounds. Network with industry professionals, attend valuable educational seminars, and explore the latest products from hundreds of vendors. Mark your calendars for 2 days full of events, and don't forget to grab your free lunch at the Big Grill each day. This is more than an expo. It's where the pork world comes together. Learn more at worldpork.org.
Is the IRS making you feel anxious? Do you have multiple years of unfiled taxes or owe more than $8,000? The tax attorneys at Allies Tax Relief specialize in problems like yours, and they're ready to negotiate your fresh start. Don't go another year fearing the IRS. Allies Tax Relief will stop the IRS from garnishing your wages or levying your bank account. You only pay if you qualify for their services, so why wait? Call 800-280-4184 today. That's 800-280-4184.
With news on Missouri Net, I'm Marshall Griffin. The Senate has passed a House bill that would forbid state funding from going to Planned Parenthood. Honorable Republican Mary Elizabeth Coleman, who carried the bill, wants to ban Planned Parenthood from receiving Medicaid reimbursements. Florissant Democrat Angela Mosley staunchly opposes the legislation.
This is not an abortion bill. It has nothing to do with abortion because Planned Parenthood cannot provide abortion services in Missouri. Clearly that has been banned in Missouri. So yeah, everyone should be a no on this bill.
The bill goes back to the House for another look. A St. Charles County man faces 15 years in prison after admitting to engaging in online sexual activity with 3 teens across the country. 27-year-old Tristan Davis pled guilty to all 6 counts, including coercion and enticement of a minor and child pornography. And tax day has arrived. You have until 11:59 tonight to file your federal and state income tax returns. This is Missouri Net.
Help DEA keep our community safe and healthy by participating in National Prescription Drug Take-Back Day, Saturday, April 27th. Take action right in your own home by cleaning out your medicine cabinet of unneeded medications. Keep them safe, clean them out, take them back. Find a collection site near you at DEATakeback.com. Do your part to lower overdose deaths and prevent prescription drug misuse before it starts. That's DEATakeback.com.
Not all people are the same. And yet, when we visit the doctor, our treatments don't look that different. Why is that? Because we just don't have enough information to do it better. By gathering health data from 1 million people, our country's best researchers will be able to develop treatments that are as unique and complex as we are. With this new information, doctors will have a better understanding of disease so they can innovate the next great breakthroughs in medicine. Learn more at joinallofus.org.
Have you seen Town Screen yet? It's one of the most affordable